Oh, man.
What? You sound so upset.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for this winter family vacation we're all going on, but, I'm just a quiet 16-year-old who's shy in the backseat. I haven't quite figured my life out yet.
It sounds like you're going through a rough time there, teenage Kevin.
Yeah, I'm pretty morose. I'm feeling dejected. Yeah. All I have to keep me company is this thesaurus, so I can think of more ways to say that I'm feeling down.
And a bitchin' soundtrack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like you're going through a real coming-of-age story, I would say, Kevin.
Well, okay, if that's the case, is there anything that I can do to help me come of age, James?
No, absolutely not. You just got to take it in stride and be an adult about it. I got nothing funny for you. It's that simple and it's that sad. Just do it, man.
I was really hoping we were leading into the fact that we were talking about coming of age trailers, but now I just feel down.
Are we really?
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Grab a seat, pour yourselves a whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these feature releases by the movie trailers. We're trailer hits. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're trailer hits.
James, all I'm saying is this should be an escape from reality. Like, that was clearly the setup for a bit, and then you just punched me in the face.
That's what that life happens when you're 16 years old. Nothing's gonna just be all hunky-dory. It's just gonna punch you right in the face. 16-year-old Kevin, are you feeling a little bit better after that theme song, though?
You did say that we would get a bitchin' soundtrack. And that is a pretty bitchin' soundtrack. Thank you very much, Danny Schmitz, lost the name for the theme.
Hey-ho!
By the way, this is Trailer Hitch.
Welcome to Trailer Hitch, everyone.
Hi, I am older than 16-year-old Kevin.
And I am the same age as I was last episode.
In the
James.
intro, and yeah.
Always the same age.
Yeah, you're
just
good.
Never changing.
All right, cool. So, Trailer Hitch is
sad in itself too.
That's just we're gonna keep it on going to happy.
Power through.
We don't want a dramatic coming of age story. Those are really bummers to watch.
Especially because Kevin's very excited about the trailers that we're gonna be reviewing today, guys.
I don't know if you guys have guessed this, but they're all coming-of-age trailers.
I did guess it only after you told me, but I guessed it.
Just a quick rundown for any newbies out there who have not been put off by the intro. This is a trailer podcast in which we rate and review movie trailers, rate everything on the scale of need to see more, or never need to see. If we both give a movie a need to see, we'll celebrate for a second, then we go and we watch the movie, and we come back, we review the movie and the trailer in retrospect, having seen the movie. So here is the order for everyone tonight. It is Dear Dictator, I Kill Giants, Love Simon, which is like the best telegram never happened.
No, everyone, that is not one movie.
Nope.
That is 3 separate movies.
Yes.
That just happened to make one sentence.
And they're all coming of age stories.
We're very happy about it.
We're really happy at the softball that got pitched at us.
It's T-ball, really.
It really is.
Just tee it right up for us. So we're talking about coming of age movies this week. They're all different genres.
Yes.
They're all slightly different genres.
Dear Dictator, comedy. I Kill Giants is more fantasy.
Yep.
And Love Simon is pretty much a more straightforward coming of age story.
I'd say it's like a
dramedy.
Yes, dramedy. Coined by the independent films of the last
yesteryear
10, 15 years, I'd say.
Yeah. Have you seen Garden State? Just replicate that. You're pretty much there. Yeah.
Hopefully less morose, but, you know, we are talking about 16-year-olds here.
Right. Speaking of less morose, I mean, do you want to get right into Dear Dictator? Because this is a comedy. Hopefully
do I have a choice, Kevin?
No, you don't, because I ultimately decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Dictator joke, and I'm glad you picked up on it.
I did pick up on it.
Oh, you didn't pick up on it?
I did pick up on it right after you said it.
Sophomores, the assignment was to write to a role model, someone you admire. Miss Miles, care to tell us who you wrote to?
Anton Vincent.
The Dictator.
You found evidence on their computers, yes?
They do not have computers.
Then how did you know they were traitors?
You said they were, sir.
I admire his style.
Dear Tatiana,
Your letters have been a welcome respite from my struggles. There is a rebel faction that wants to behead me. There is no one I can trust.
Oh, I can totally relate. My mom is having an affair with her creepy boss. My school is ruled by some mean girls that call themselves slushies. And the guy I'm into is a Jesus freak.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I did that. Sometimes I feel like you're the only one who gets me.
No More Stalin. This is Dear Dictator, which is written and directed by Lisa Addario and Joe Syracuse. And this is
I'll hail Hitler that joke.
Whoa!
Was that okay?
It's on PC as fuck.
Just quickly keep going past my terrible addition to your Dictator humor.
No, being PC as fuck is about us locking down and being like, that wasn't okay, but being human enough to admit it and move on. Okay, Odia Rush.
Better in my head, Kevin.
Odia Rush is in this. Odia Rush is in this. Katie Holmes, Seth Green, Jason Biggs. Hey, that's where he is. And our random shout out, because we here at Trailer Hitch like to give random shout outs to people because, like, all the top billed people, they take all the credit.
This isn't our first one, guys. Look it up.
Yeah, we're pretty consistent with this shit. Our random shout out is going to go to Evan Kelly, who plays the reporter. Hey, Evan, good job. You were in the movie, buddy. So, what's going on with Dear Dictator? So, this starts out with a girl in her high school class.
Sure.
Her teacher is, I believe it's sociology is the course. Fuck it, whatever.
Social studies, sociology, whatever.
Apparently,
same thing.
Yeah. You say tomato, I say apple, and admit I'm wrong later. So, yeah, this girl is in her social studies class, and apparently she's been assigned to write to a hero of hers. Teacher calls on her, asks, who did you write to? And she gives the name of a dictator. And then we get a flash of that dictator who executes, like, several people thinking they're traitors, but then realizes as it's happening, oh, he actually doesn't have any proof.
There's no proof. There's no evidence.
And this girl had sent him a letter, and he actually responds and is like, man, thanks for the letter, buddy. Here's what's going on with me. Like, a coup might be happening, and they might be trying to decapitate me. What's going on with you? And this teenage girl writes back and is like, bro, I can relate. My mom's having an affair. There are these mean girls at school. And, like, it's a pretty fun juxtaposition of, like, what he is going through and what she is going through.
I mean, he probably read that letter and just went, okay, she really doesn't get what I'm going through, but that's fine.
But no, see, what I like about it is the idea of, like, they're both outsiders in their particular circumstances.
No,
you know
totally.
what I mean? Like, they feel like they are being beaten down by life.
Yeah.
And so, girls watching the news, apparently that dictator has been overthrown and is unaccounted for. And then, holy shit, he shows up. He basically teaches her how to deal with the mean people at school. And
shows her the ropes.
Yeah. How to grow up. If you were a dictator.
If you were, taking lessons from a dictator instead of Jason Biggs.
Right. Jason Biggs seems pretty vanilla. You want...
I mean, he did stick his dick in a pie, but...
Years ago.
Who knows what kind of pies this dictator got into? We don't know.
What did you think of the trailer?
Jesus. I really derailed that pretty badly, didn't I?
Oh, you're okay.
I thought...
Couldn't be worse than the Hitler. No.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought... I was really enjoying the humor in the beginning when we whip pans to Michael Caine as the dictator, and like you described, all those people getting executed. That was a really humorous moment that played really well. And then I liked their little their pen pal back and forth stuff. But then he goes missing and then he shows up. The trailer just kind of very briefly sends dramatic, intense vibes. Like, he shows up, and the lighting is dark, and the music gets really intense and scary.
Yeah, it almost appears as if he's kidnapping her.
Yeah, it's just, in this trailer, you got humor in the beginning, humor instantly right after. You shouldn't be changing the tone to, is this a scary kidnapping?
And it really only changes the tone for 3 seconds?
For 5 seconds. It was very distracting though. And then it goes and it steamrolls forward like the tone never changed.
Right.
This is this fun-loving, quirky story of rebel teen meets dictator. Mm-hmm. And then I continued on enjoying it. The milk boarding shit. I liked it. What did you think of it?
I agreed with most of what you said. So yeah, I definitely was enjoying the trailer in the beginning. That said, once the coup happens, I was like, oh man, I'm so ready for this 16-year-old girl to then go to whatever fictionalized country this is, have her dealing with that lifestyle. And like, it was the opposite. He comes to her.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, like, I felt like you could have gotten more comedy from a fish out of water standpoint of like the 16-year-old girl finding a way to seek exile with this dictator and potentially like go on the run together or something. I thought
that's really interesting. I really disagree with you, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I really disagree with you. I think the humor of Fish Out of Water is stronger of Michael Caine trying to fit in like suburbia.
And see, like, the jokes I was getting out of the suburbia stuff weren't really clicking for me. It's just like, he doesn't really seem to know what's happening in malls. And I'm like,
yeah.
All right.
Well, him doing the montage of different clothes, I wasn't really into that.
Yeah, that
wasn't very funny for me.
That sort of stuff sort of fell flat. And like, yeah, I mean, like, I think it would have been interesting to have her go and be a part of his world and fucking love it. Like, and like, it hits the point where even the dictator has to be like, dude, like, you need to settle down.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could really see some fun comedy coming from that.
Sure.
But again, like, the humor once he is in America wasn't hitting for me. And I think a lot of why it wasn't is like, I was really noticing how, one, the movie looks really cheap. And two,
it sounds really cheap too.
Sounds really cheap.
The audio is very not quality that we've expected when going to see a movie in a movie theater. And this is just a YouTube video, a trailer on YouTube.
Right.
But compared to the other trailers that we have here today, the audio is noticeably less quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely low budget, though.
It is definitely low budget,
yeah,
but even from a low budget standpoint, though, I was really hoping to get more out of, like, the directing to it. Because, like, yeah, there are certain points where, like, a lot of this seems to be we're just going to shoot everything as, like, an over-the-shoulder here. And, like, I'm not looking for extreme style. But there were just certain points where the repetitiveness of that visual style was starting to wear on me a little bit. And there were also jokes and bits where I was like, I wasn't really that crazy about the milkboarding bit because it took me until the very end of the scene to recognize he was doing it with milk. If that's just supposed to be the punchline, fine, but like I feel like there could have been a more interesting visual component to go with that. Instead of just,
I think
like,
that's a good point. Yeah,
having the reveal of him with the milk is just like a cowboy shot or something. This doesn't really like punch the joke as hard as it could.
And but that's the trailer shot selections. You know?
And I'm not necessarily judging like the filmmakers or the movie itself because this is a trailer and it could be
like the trailer could have just been like we don't have
time. This could be a fucking drama for all we know.
We don't have time for the good setup of this milk gag.
Right.
Just get the punchline in the trailer.
Yeah.
Probably not, though, if we're being honest.
Likely not, but we're giving every benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we'll try to. You know what? I think you made some good points, actually. Yeah, continue.
Actually? Excuse me?
Well, no, in terms of I feel myself changing my mind while listening to you, which doesn't happen very often. Not that you don't always make great points.
Wow.
You know what? Relax, okay?
I'm starting to feel like I'm getting some power. I feel like I could lead an entire group of people and make decisions.
And I feel
like
I
president.
I feel like I could be a teenager.
Right.
There you go.
Anyway, I really think the inherent premise, like that first 30 to 45 seconds of this trailer, is really strong.
Yeah.
And I do really enjoy it. But the humor that they're finding with the dictator coming to suburbia and kind of like that limited visual palette did kind of wear on me by the end. So for me, this is a need to see more. Again, I'm pulling for it because I really like that concept. But like the whale tail joke really didn't do anything for me because like...
No, she compared them to opioids, right?
Yeah.
Not sure how that compares.
I think Stalin. We're going to say Stalin because that's who we reference at the start of this review. Hope that we're right. Wait, religion is the opioid of the masses. That's the original quote.
Oh, that's a quote of something.
That is a quote said by someone. James, what do you give this?
I'm not very well versed. So when she said that in the trailer, I was just kind of like, oh, she's just coming up with like her own speech. So I'm glad that you're well educated.
It's the opiate of the masses. Wait, Karl Marx? He's not a dictator, is it? Hold on.
Well, she's not. She doesn't have to be quoting a dictator. She can just be.
But the bit. The bit. It's in the title.
But the bit, James. The bit.
Yeah, no, he was totally just a philosopher.
No, that's fine. She could be into philosophy too, though.
I guess.
Maybe that is her teaching him philosophy. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he could be...
I doubt it. But.
Maybe he could be a totalitarianist. Well, I mean, obviously he is. He's a dictator. And she could be like, oh, wait, but, fucking socialism. Isn't this grand?
Yeah.
This is getting way too esoteric.
Yeah, let's...
Including the fact that I just used the word esoteric. So what do you think?
I'm just going to steamroll past... I know the word steamroll, so I'm going to use that again. Steamroll past...
I have the thesaurus from the beginning, James!
Asking you what that even means. It's funny. I came off like I sounded more positive about this trailer than you did. Then I heard your thoughts, and I've gone lower than you, actually. I'm at a never need to see it for this movie. I know.
Hold on, what was it before?
It was need to see more before.
Oh, okay.
And so you started talking about these things, and especially the quality of the... some of the low-budget things we talked about, too, also has kind of gotten me like, this just doesn't... it just doesn't look that great. I think the trailer was... fine for what they could get across. But here, I mean, you heard it here first, guys. Like, I changed my mind mid-podcast. This is live. Not live. It's
at the time of this recording,
live,
it's live
to record, right? And then you'll hear it later if I decide to keep any of this bullshit in. But yeah, you kind of changed my mind. But you happen to be more excited about this movie than I am, I guess.
It's really just giving credit where credit's due. Because again, the beginning, that's pretty solid. But then
totally,
yeah. So
cool.
Well, we're sorry, Dictator.
Shall we steamroll past that? Oh, see, I can't do it 4 times. I'm not going to do it 4 times.
I was happy because I cannot think of a good pun for I Kill Giants. Can you?
I have no puns, but should we just repeat the whole sentence again? Dear Dictator, I Kill Giants, dear Simon. We're at the I Kill Giants part of the sentence, guys.
Barbara, I want to get to know you a little bit more.
Do you have many friends?
What about your sister?
I play your dragons or whatever if you ask me to.
That would be hilarious. What are you doing? What's it for?
There's some serious stuff going down. I find giants. I hunt giants. I kill giants.
Cool. Yeah, that's it. Dark omens are totally cool.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. We're about to have some fun with this trailer. Huh?
I dig it. That was good. Yeah, this is. But unfortunately, I Kill Giants.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Bear that in mind. All right, this is directed by Anders Walter. Written by Joe Kelly, who is adapting his own graphic novel.
Oh, cool. He wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Let's see. This is starring Madison Wolfe, who is a child actor who's been in, The Conjuring 2, Joy, Trumbo, On the Road. She's, just starting to get into that career of, she's, the kid from the... Shit, she's also the kid from this. She's starting to, get a bunch of roles.
Okay.
So, good for her. This also stars Zoe Saldana, Imogen Poots, who just has the best name. Our random shout-out is going to go to Adine Wild, who plays Miss Potts. Hey, Adine! Awesome
well
work.
Well done, Adine. Hi, applause.
Golf clap,
applause
golf
here.
clap.
Golf clap, golf clap.
All right, James, I have read the graphic novel this
Yeah.
is based on, and I adore it. I have so much adulation for this thing, even more adulation than I have for this thesaurus that I keep using.
I swear to God, one of these days I'm going to borrow that book from you. I'm going to know every word you say.
How about you take over and tell us what you are getting from this trailer?
Okay, great. First of all, I knew that you had a comic book. It was it started off black and white with some colors thrown in there.
It's all black and white.
But there was color in there, on the cover maybe.
On the cover, yeah.
There was a heart that had some color to it, right? Anyway, I watched this trailer, and I was 70% sure it was for that comic adaptation.
Yeah.
Turns out I was right.
You're correct!
It is. I Kill Giants. Okay, great. So, this movie is about a young girl whose name is...
Barbara.
Barbara?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you would know off the top of your head, but you looked at your phone, so I'm not going to give you that, Kevin.
I dispute those claims. It's a podcast. No one knows who's telling the truth.
That's true.
James is.
So I'm definitely telling the truth. So Barbara she kills giants, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But why is she really? These are the questions that the trailer kind of presents to you as we're going. So she's an imaginative kid.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer opens with her doing some sort of chant or rhyme or, oath or slogan or something.
Yeah.
As she's making something. Then she finishes it off by blowing a bunch of glitter off of it or something like that. That's our introduction to the character, and it's very interesting and it's engaging. Then we see her talking with Zoe Saldana. Oh, wait! But first, there's a huge fucking title card of by the producers of Harry Potter.
Yeah, they really made
Then there's not another title card for a full minute. I was very distracted by that. It was just wow, calm down.
I should take a look and see which producers from Harry Potter.
I was just kind of you could have thrown this title card near the end of the trailer.
Oh, Chris Columbus is one of the producers.
Okay, well,
that had to have been his request, by the way.
It just seemed oddly placed.
Agreed.
Because you've drawn us in, you got us really intrigued about this world, and then the first words you see is just Harry Potter. And then you read above it the smaller words that say from the producers of, and it was just very weird. Anyway,
agreed.
So she starts talking with Zoe Saldana, who may or may not be a guidance counselor at school, or maybe a therapist, or an aunt, or a guidance adult of some sort.
To keep this flowing, you were right with guidance counselor,
okay,
therapist. Yeah.
So it sounds like Barbara's sort of trying to open up to Zoe, but she's not really being as perceptive or being very dismissive at, this is just a child and a child's imagination. And then Barbara also finds a friend in a British accent, dark-haired little girl who sweats when she gets nervous, I guess. So she starts to bring her in on her world, on her adventures and her imagination, or what we perceive may or may not be her imagination. And then shit starts to go crazy, and stuff starts to get way more intense, way more epic. And the trailer concludes with us actually seeing a giant. And her holding this giant, war hammer, facing the giant, which was beautiful fucking image.
Mm-hmm.
It looked so cool. So yeah, there you go. How did I do?
Honestly, pretty well.
Okay.
And when I say surprisingly, it's not at your skill. It's just because this is a 1:45 trailer.
Yeah.
And you honestly gleaned a lot from the story, and you're pretty much spot on.
I think that credit goes to the trailer. I think it did a very good job of getting these aspects across.
Yeah.
One of the main aspects, and look, let's just dive into it. Is this her imagination, or is this actually happening?
And that's something I wish the trailer kind of punched a little bit more.
Agreed. That's why I brought it up. Yeah, and I got it, but I'm not sure if everyone else got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's really the major question that's at play. And if this is all imaginary, what is she trying to escape from that is making her dive into this elaborate world where she's killing giants?
Yeah.
And so I definitely wish the trailer had punched that up. But I think we can agree, if you're going to go ahead and display this giant ass from the producers of Harry Potter card up, they're trying super hard to sell the fantasy aspects of this story. Yeah. And it is 100% a coming of age story. Granted, from watching the trailer, you might not get that, but that is definitely what the comic is. And they might go in a different direction, but honestly, since I can see like most of these shots, honestly, are almost from the comic. That opening of her doing that incantation in her
Is she
room,
like in a treehouse or a room?
Yeah, she's in a room with,
okay.
and she just kind of has like a blanket for it set up.
Yeah.
That is almost shot for shot, panel for panel.
The production design looks amazing.
It's
amazing,
fucking great, isn't it?
Just her bedroom alone. I was just like the detail of just like the little stuff. It's so lived in, but it's so like charming but also like weird and different. And oh man, the production design is very cool on this trailer.
I completely agree. Yeah.
From beginning to end, you know.
And yeah, so from like the little montage or like series of shots right at the end, it does look like it is going to stick with the basic principles of like where the comic ends up going.
Okay, don't tell me.
Yeah,
obviously.
of course. I'm pretty confident that those elements, the heart of the story, does look like it's going to be there. But again, I just wish that came through more in the trailer.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky doing something that is this imagination or is this real life, and then you show the giant. Like that was an interesting choice. Look, that could still be imagination, but by showing it so like vividly, it's a little like I kind of am tipping more toward the side of this is actually happening now.
Right.
Where that question is sort of not at the forefront of my brain anymore. Maybe I would have liked a trailer where you don't see a giant straight on.
Right.
Like, I think her holding that Warhammer at the end may have been enough. That as an ending image, I think that's enough as a badass, cool ending image. And you can show some, like, implications of, like, a big giant moving past the frame somewhere that is a little bit more easy to say, oh, maybe that's still her imagination. But when it's just like that, it's just this obvious shot, it's like, okay, well, either there's actually giants or we're literally just in her brain now seeing her imagination. Those are the only two options now.
Right.
We're not as from an outsider's perspective anymore at that point.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting point. I would include a giant or like at least some sort of monster somewhere. That way, I feel like you can still ride the line of, is this real or is this imaginary? But you have to give the audience something. I mean, if the character literally never sees a giant and is like, trust me, bud, then that's not going to be an interesting character for 90 minutes. You know, like you have to have some sort of validation for what, like the lengths she is going through to quote unquote protect herself. And like, you know, like that elaborate trap she sets up in the sand. I feel like you have to give something just so that way we can get a sense of, okay, but if this is all in her head, like, holy shit, she is vividly imagining it. And then that means that if this is imaginary, then like something's fucking up. And like, I think that raises the stakes more from a story standpoint.
Okay.
And again, you have to bear in mind, I am sort of tainted because I know whether or not there are giants.
Right, I know you do, and I've been very good about not asking you.
But, yeah, I mean, like, that is kind of an interesting point. So for me, again, overall, like, from a visual standpoint, I think this is great. And granted, sure, it is kind of going shot for shot, at least from what I can recall. That said, as I mentioned before, it was black and white, the comic. And on top of that, the art style, I don't want to say abrasive, but like it's not super clean. You know, like it is definitely a bit more cartoony. And I feel like this does a live action color adaptation of I Kill Giants phenomenally well. Like this carries the color and the realism of what a movie is, but also kind of retains like that sort of out there fantasy and the more cartoonish aspects, like those all still survive, I think, very well. And so on that standpoint, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing so far.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was it necessary for it to be black and white, or do you kind of wish it was in color?
I'm fine with it being in black and white.
But was it necessary?
Was it necessary for it to be in black and white?
Like, was there a point to it, or was it just like
I
to stand out?
Probably bullshit a reason off the top of my head right now. Would it, like, there's definitely, so like that intro that you get at the beginning of this trailer, that's like the first page in the comic, and then we cut to an entirely different location.
Now, my follow-up question to that was,
Sure.
Do you think this would have benefited from being a black and white movie?
Oh, that's interesting. No. Again, I think
then maybe the comic shouldn't have been black and white, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the movie is concerned, because it is an adaptation, I am happy to see, okay, if you are going to go shot for shot with this, then the color palette is the way for a director and for the production team to make their mark. You know what I mean? I feel like all of that is really, really well accomplished. And how sterile the therapist's office looks with Zoe Saldana.
Oh, yeah. Soul sucking.
Yeah, there's so much style when there needs to be style, but there's so much motivation and thought behind it. Again, I'm actually kind of happy there is color in this instance. This does kind of add a different layer to it.
Yeah.
And it still makes it engaging for me, even though as of right now it does look like it's going pretty much blow for blow how the book goes.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. All right,
Yeah.
well, what do you think? What do you think about the trailer? Review-wise, rating-wise?
So, looking at this as a trailer and not as someone who's read the book or whatever, I'd give this a need to see more.
Okay.
I think that the visual style is really strong, but I wouldn't really be that invested in the stakes yet. Just because, the question of, is this real or is this all in her imagination?
Isn't quite enough.
Yeah,
enticing enough.
And it's definitely not hit hard enough. I would assume
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
right.
I would assume that this would be just a minor little bit of the story, and most of it would be the producers of Harry Potter giving me these giants, and I'd be like, all right. So just going off the basis of the trailer, I would say need to see more. Okay. As someone who's read the comic, it's a need to see.
Sure. Oh, okay.
My official rating is need to see more.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know anything about it, and like you said, it's kind of hard to tell, really what the plot is.
Mm-hmm.
We know the basic premise that we're gonna get from the get-go, but in terms of story plot, we're not entirely sure. I was just really taken with it a lot, and I think it could have hammered it home a little bit more of the, is this her imagination, is this not?
Yeah.
I think it could have hammered it home more for general audiences watching this trailer.
Sure.
But for me, I got it, and for me, that was enough. And that married with the fucking production design of this, what this trailer is implying the movie is going to be, and the cinematography, it looks absolutely breathtaking. It's a need to see it for me.
Oh, great!
Just full on. Yeah, it's just a straight up need to see it.
And unofficially, I'll be right there with you in the theater.
Well,
but
good,
officially, I'll need another trailer.
We could sort of, look, we won't play the music, but let's just cheers
we're gonna
that's nice. That's nice.
That's nice. Yeah, we basically get it.
How delightful.
Man, I love that. Almost as much as I love Simon. You want to get into that?
I love Simon as well. Let's do it.
My name's Simon. For the most part, my life is totally normal. I have a family that I actually like, and there's my friends. We do everything friends do. We drink way too much iced coffee while gorging on carbs. So, I'm just like you, except I have one huge-ass secret.
Hey! I like your boots! I said I like your boots! Goodbye!
Nobody knows I'm gay.
Have you seen the new post? About the closeted gay kid at school.
What?
Who do you think it is?
Can I call you back? Dear Blue, I'm just like you. This was a mistake.
It's nice to know there's another guy at school with the same secret. When did you first realize?
It was a bunch of little things, like my first girlfriend.
I think I'm falling in love with you.
Wow, thank you. Be right back. Wasn't my proudest moment.
right, Simon Says, let's do this review.
Very nice.
Love, Simon is directed by Greg Berlanti, written by Elizabeth Berger and Isaac Apteker. Good job, guys.
It sounded like you pronounced that perfectly.
Probably, right? This is starring Nick Robinson, Catherine Longford, Jennifer Garner, Josh Jamal. Oh yeah, sure enough, that was him.
That was the dad.
Yeah.
Tony Hale's in it.
Tony Hale is in it.
Maybe.
A random shout out is going to go to Nancy DeMaio, who plays Mrs. Eisner. Hey, Nancy. Good job, bud.
Golf clap, Nancy.
All right,
fantastic.
Cool.
I gave it to the other person, but we're giving it to you too.
Yeah, I mean, spread the love.
Yeah. Don't cut off my love for the special shout out, Kevin.
Right.
This is my moment. This is their moment to shine.
Just let me know when you're done,
okay,
and then I'll do.
All right, I'm done.
All right, so the premise of Love, Simon is this kid comes home, he's drunk, and like his sister kind of helps him upstairs, and like the parents are there.
I don't know if it's sister or friend.
It could be a friend, yeah. You're right. Anyway, the parents are like very loving, and like everyone kind of treats it as just like this sort of awkward moment that it is. And I immediately was like, this is super pleasant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in voiceover, Simon says that his life is super pleasant. Like he's got a lot of friends, he really likes his family. Everything is going great. The only issue is he is closeted.
Mm-hmm. About being gay.
About being gay, yes.
Not about, like, being a hipster or something weird.
Liking closets, I guess. Anyway, so, yeah, he is gay. He hasn't told anyone. And he gets hipped to by one of his friends that a kid at his school has made an anonymous post saying that he's gay.
Right.
And he's not out. Right. And
Blue is half closeted.
Blue's, yeah, it's a good way to put it.
Right,
yeah,
they're peeking out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He can see everyone, but they can't see him because of the shadows.
Yeah,
there's no lights on in the closet.
Yeah, there's just Venetian blinds in this closet with a glass door, and it's just kind of like
so it's an anonymous outage.
Right, exactly.
That's what we're saying, right?
And so Simon, the protagonist, emails him back and is like, I'm in the exact same boat, and eventually starts kind of like a pen pal relationship. And just like the fact that he knows that there is another kid out there who's going through the same things clearly helps him a lot.
Opens up a door for him.
And it opens up
a closet door.
If you will.
I will, Kevin.
I will too, because that's a pretty good joke. And then the rest of the trailers is as follows. And overall, I think that this is very pleasant. I think it's very charming. I think like this is definitely in the vein of like The Fault in Our Stars, but without the terminal illness. Or
this is The Fault in Our Stars guy, right?
Probably.
I think
you'd have to assume.
I think it is. I've never saw the movie, but it was a big deal. Like everyone saw that movie and talked about it. So
definitely in that young adult vein, and that thing isn't really my cup of tea, but like ultimately it's like, well, I mean, it's good that like we're getting a story like this for gay people. Yeah. It's like, let's fucking spread the attention beyond like a narcissistic 15-year-old straight white dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, good. Now that said, the issue that I have with the trailer is one that comes up every now and again on this podcast. So I feel like on top of being able to give a rating for this trailer, I can also give a rating for the movie, because the trailer pretty much is like a 2.5 minute distillation of the film. Like you get a pretty good sense from where the trailer goes that this is how everything's going to shake out.
Okay, yeah.
And I mean, I guess it's not spoiling it because it's in the trailer, but like definitely. And I love the line when Jennifer Garner is like, it's felt like for the past couple of years you've just been holding your breath.
Right.
Like, I think it's a brilliant way for that mom to be like, I knew. And to understand the anxiety that her kid is going through, trying to figure out how or if he's going to come out.
Yeah.
And then you see him wrapped around a boy and they're about to kiss. And the trailer makes a point to be like, this is going to be romantic AF. And right before they kiss, you know, we get to the title card. And so it's like, I get the sense that everything's going to work out all right. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yes. But that's the genre.
That is the genre.
And that's, you know, it's kind of like when you're watching a trailer for a scary movie and you go, I get the feeling that not everything's going to work out all right.
Right.
You know, with these types of teen romances, teen dramedies, yeah, they almost 100% of the time work out fine.
Right.
And you're right. That's a genre thing. That's a niche thing for that type of genre, for those type of people that like that type of movie, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, what did you think of the smaller parts of it? Not the trailer as a whole in terms of giving the film in its entirety away.
Yeah.
But like the humor or the acting or the direction or...
I mean, like, I feel like everything is like at a... Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
But, like, again, pleasant is the word that keeps leaping to mind. And I know I could look up in my thesaurus right now and give a fucking $20 word.
How about
equivalent.
wholesome?
Sure. Yeah, so I mean, like, everything is just very pleasant. Like, the direction. I thought that the editing in the trailer, specifically once that email comes through of, okay, he sent off that email to this anonymous poster, he has gotten a response.
Yeah.
And, like, the rush and excitement in the character, I think, comes through in the editing, too, with, like, how quick everything is. And you can see with Simon sitting alone at that table, just reading that email, that is enough for him where, like, it doesn't matter if he's alone because now he's not anymore. He's got this message from someone who's going through the exact same thing as him.
Yeah.
I thought it was really great. And yeah, overall, like, I thought it was pleasant. The last joke doesn't really land for me. I feel like it kind of hits I'm trying to blend in a bit too hard while also making it a race joke. I felt like there could have been maybe like a different joke there that might have hit a little bit better for me.
Sure.
So like the humor's scattershot, but I mean, what comedy isn't going to have jokes that don't land for you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like overall, like I'm pretty fine with this. How about you, James?
Everything worked for me.
Great.
Yeah. I will elaborate. If we had to end this podcast this second, I would just say it all worked for me. But I really like these types of movies, However, there has been a lot of them. There's been like a influx of them in the last, 5 years. Like a lot of these teen type of movies that really aren't about anything more than love and coming of age, right? It can get a little tiresome. Perhaps the reason they were getting tiresome is because they were always about either, straight white females or straight white males.
Mm-hmm.
So when this came along, and it should be noted, this is the second trailer for this movie. The first trailer, that was also a good trailer. But this one just came out, so I thought, let's talk about this one. I thought the humor was really charming and funny and relatable, and the characters were really relatable, and that is what blew my mind so much, as not in a surprising way, but in me realizing this is very important, like really important. Like you need to take a genre that there is already a huge following for, and you need to have a character that even me, like a straight white male, I can relate to this guy.
Yeah, and
like that's amazing.
Yeah, and like I think like we can all relate on a human level because like especially at that age, everyone is still figuring out what they're doing and everyone feels alone to some degree. Yeah, so I mean like I feel like everyone on a root level can relate to that. And like for me, it was I spent too much time reading a fucking thesaurus. For Simon, he has a much bigger issue on his plate, and that's he can't be who he is.
Right.
Oh my god, like that's really tragic.
Yeah.
And
that's the aspect that is, what makes a great character in a movie is being able to relate to them, but also seeing them in a situation where you would go, I've never been in that situation. What would I do? I don't know. I relate to this character now, so now I'm thinking, what would I do?
Mm-hmm.
You have that now with his sexuality. You're just like, I relate to this character. And then it's like, but there's this huge aspect of his entire life. It's like, how would I even handle that? I don't know. I've never had to deal with that. you know? And that was really interesting, and I think it's really important, especially for just the mainstream of audiences, to see a movie like this. And I don't like the word normal, but to see it normalized is like super important.
Yeah.
And I think this trailer did a really good job hitting it home.
Yeah, and I mean, like, to kind of piggyback off of your point, it was like I was watching the trailer for this and was like, oh, okay, like, this is about him coming to terms with his sexuality. And yeah, there was this part of me that's like, fuck, it really took a while for this to happen. And like, no, like, there should be stories like this. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know if 10% is like the actual number of people who are homosexual, or if that's just kind of like the accepted rumor that
apparently it's a scale.
It is, right? Exactly, it's a scale.
We're talking
baby.
the Kinsey scale here, and let's not get into that. That's a whole other movie.
That's all another. Right? Who was that? Was that Albert Finney? Anyway, yeah, like there are a lot of people who are gay and could probably like find something to relate to with Love, Simon, or there are people like us who are straight and look at it and are just kind of like, fuck, I hope the best for him. He seems like a nice dude.
Yeah.
He seems so pleasant.
Right? And he comes from, like, a good family, and it's like, it doesn't always have to be a story about a gay guy or a gay girl who has parents who, like, they're gonna hate them if they come out, and they're gonna be abusive or something like that. Or it's just so refreshing to see a movie where you watch the trailer and you don't go, that's a gay movie. You don't. It's, that's a young adult movie. That's a coming of age movie about a gay person.
Yeah.
Like, that's really exciting.
Sure.
And I'm just really excited that hopefully this will be a closet door opener for a lot more movies to be normalized for that. That's what I have to say about it. This is a need to see it for me.
Okay, there we go.
I'm just very excited to see a movie like this.
Okay.
And I'm really excited for the general audiences to get a movie like this, too. So there you go.
I mean, forgive us if the joke isn't PC, but I guess to go off of that track, I'm poking my head out of the closet door right now and looking around. This is a need to see more for me.
Yes. You are the Blue from this trailer.
I am the Blue,
and I am the Simon.
Right, right. Yeah,
I like this.
We're following you. Yeah, and I'm more so just sending you emails every once in a while and being like, but this is really good. Yeah, I like, there is definitely a lot to like with the trailer. Again, I think that had I gotten 2/3 of the story that this trailer gave me, I'd be like, well, fuck yeah, I'd like to see what happens to Simon. He seems like a nice dude. But again, like, I see him wrap his arms around another guy and go in for a kiss. I see his mom kind of like talking him down. I feel like I've already gotten where the movie is going.
Josh Duhamel gives him an embracing hug that seems very emotional for whatever they happen to be talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, like, I just kind of wish that the trailer would, like, pull back a little bit, and then I'd probably be like, well, yeah, fuck, I'll see it.
I think that's tricky because there's a lot of trailers we review on this podcast where you're able to look at the first half of a movie and get a range of different kind of acting moments to put in your trailer, just from the first half. Unfortunately, with movies like this, that range that you need to be able to make a movie look like it hits different ranges usually happen during the last act. So you kind of have to dive into the last act to promote that the movie, oh, look, they're having fun here, but it also gets serious here. So that's more of a problem of the structure of this type of genre. Like, I don't know, maybe a trailer, it's hard to tell, but maybe a trailer without those emotional beats, that look like they come from the end of the movie, maybe without those moments, it would be less appealing?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know. That's all I got, Kevin.
That's fair. That is fair. Man, I just realized, like, we did our coming of age episode. I need to see mores on everything. So apparently for me, coming of age is just me going, meh. this is sort of where, we're going to land on this. Do you have anything?
Spoken like a pure 16-year-old, Kevin. Just,
pretty much, yeah. I was apathetic as fuck.
Kevin, how was your day today? You go to your room. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, everyone, so much for listening. Thank you to Danny Schmitz again from Lost in the Name for our great theme. Thank you to Casey Clowers for our awesome outro theme, which you will be hearing in just a few moments. Before we get to there, though, please feel free to email us at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com. You can also write a review for us on iTunes. You can rate our podcasts on iTunes. We'd appreciate it.
Heck yeah!
In addition, you can hit us up on Twitter at TrailerHitchPod, or you can hit us up on our Facebook page. Plenty of ways to contact us. We love hearing from you. So why not talk to us? We're pleasant.
Yeah, we're here, man. We're not, these aren't just bots talking.
Even if you feel like, you don't have anything to say, hit me up. I have a thesaurus. James, do you have anything to add?
I don't have a thesaurus, no. So, no, I don't. I don't have anything to... I was trying to think of a synonym for add.
Add?
Yeah.
Contribute?
Oh, you're so good! You and that fucking thesaurus, man. No, I got nothing.
Just hanging out in the back of this fucking car, man, flipping through this. What else am I going to do? Okay, everyone, thank you very much. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
You can't mount holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Kevin.
Yeah?
Do you want to say the names of all the movies reviewed today one more time?
Yes, I do. Dear Dictator, I Kill Giants, Love Simon.
God, you got the most satisfied look on your face.
It's the best! It's the best telegram never sent. God damn it. When you get... the softest ball.
Excited, everyone.
The softest ball.
I just wish you all could see his face right now. It's amazing.
God, I'm pleased as fuck. Yes.
I know you are. Oh, well, I'm happy it worked out, Kevin.